Hello folks, so today we're gonna talk about the LUMIX S9. All the things that I'm gonna say in this video are just gonna be constructive things and inputs for LUMIX if anyone from LUMIX is watching here, because I think there is a huge amazing things that I hope will trip down to the S5 Mark II and the Mark II X, but at the same time there are huge missed out from LUMIX about this camera. But let's go straight into the video and talk about them. This camera has an amazing potential. When I say amazing potential, it has an amazing potential, but there are some things that I think LUMIX missed out with this camera. But first, let's talk about the pros, because this camera has amazing pros that many other cameras out there don't have. So the pros are basically the sensor. LUMIX, the new sensor developed, is probably one of the best sensors out there, not for speed, but for image quality, because it delivers 14 plus stops of dynamic range. It has amazing colors, and the dynamic range is amazing. Like, it's amazing. As you can see now, I'm like half in the shade, half of light, and I'm still able to be seen, and the blown out parts where usually in other sensors this part will be totally blown out are still pretty good and visible. So it's quite amazing as a thing, and yeah, I don't know, I just love this sensor. If it was a bit faster it would be even better, but I just love this sensor. The body is just amazing. It's small, it's compact, it's exactly the type of camera that was missing out in the S lineup of LUMIX cameras. So it's quite amazing. I was wishing for this camera for so long, and finally it's here. One of the amazing things that they brought is basically the LUMIX Lab, which I think it's amazing, and they brought it up mainly to compete against probably the Fuji lineup. One thing that I have to say, that this camera I don't think is going to come and compete with Sony cameras like the Sony EVs, the ZV-E lineup, or the Fuji X100 Mark VI lineup anyway. I think it's a camera in its own category just because of the features that the camera have. For my opinion, it's difficult that it will compete with those lineup of cameras. Then we have one of the most amazing things about this camera, which is the hybrid zoom. This is one of the features I really hope it will come down to the S5 Mark II and the S5 Mark II X, together with the Lab Lot, or the LUMIX Lab, or however is it called. It will come, because I just love it so much. The IBIS, guys, the IBIS in this camera, how they managed to fit an IBIS in such a small body is just crazy. It's just crazy, but then they missed out on many other things. So one of the things I think they missed up on is the cold shoe. So there is not going to be any electronics on the cold shoe. It's just a normal cold shoe, and I think that's a huge miss out for LUMIX, because they could have brought out some little mic device, since it's for anyway content creators, this camera, where you can just place this basically microphone on top of your camera, and it will best be working without you connecting a cable or anything like Sony does, and it will be amazing. So for me, it's kind of a huge miss out there. Then the thing that disappointed me the most about this camera is the record limits. Basically, they put record limits in the 5K and 6K modes up to 10 minutes. And then they basically put 15 minutes on all the 4K, and then 20 minutes in the HD modes. HD modes. Can you explain me why would you limit the HD modes? That's something that I really didn't understand at all, because the HD modes are like, nobody puts record limits on HD mode. So that's what I meant when I say that this camera, it is in own category, because there is no other company doing something like that. So it's quite interesting on why Lumix did that, and it still bugs my mind because I still don't understand it. And yeah, and another thing I think they missed out is the USB-C. Basically, you have a USB-C, but it's only for charging at this stage. It will be really good if you can just deliver it as a webcam free, where you can basically just connect your Lumix to the computer and it will just show up there as a webcam. That would be really, really amazing, because it's portable as a camera, it's small, so why not doing that? Sony does it, and Fuji does it too, and I think Nikon does it too, or Nikon does it too. So it is quite strange on why Lumix didn't want to deliver that in such a small camera, but this is still a pre-production camera, so many of the things that I'm talking about now could be actually improved in the future. But one thing I would like to go back to is the recording limits that they put there. So they put it there because the camera is so small, so to avoid the overheating of the camera, they put recording limits. But it doesn't make sense that you do something like that, because one, you stop the creative process for people. Like, if I buy that camera, I want to be free to choose when I want to stop the camera. Of course, it will overheat, but if it overheat, I still want to have the freedom to choose to stop the camera. And why I'm saying that is because I live in a country like Finland. Finland is freaking cold for 9 months of the year. This camera will be perfect for me because it's compact, it's portable, and it could be amazing for behind the scenes. And it's really good for me in this weather, because I know that, okay, it will probably overheat still, but it will not overheat as much as people who come from the southern part of the US or the southern part of the world in general. So the fact that you are putting a blockage there on the creativity part, where I could be free of using that camera as much as I want, because I will still need to come back there, make sure, oh, how long am I filming? Oh, damn, it's 10 minutes, and then I forget about it, and then I leave it there. It's a mess, because a lot of creators now are in podcasting, so this camera will be perfect for many creators to do podcasting. But then if after 10 minutes or after 15 minutes I have to come back there and then click it, or even I just forget about it, everything is gone. I know it's meant for creators and stuff like that, but it's meant for creators in general. I am a creator, YouTuber, work full-time as a business person and as a content creator. This camera is perfect for me because I could basically just grab it and go and use the same lenses I'm using for already the investment that I have done with the Lumix lineup. So it's quite interesting, this approach that Lumix took, because they basically niche down the people who will go towards this camera, and I think it's losing money there, because even the Sony ZV-E1, it's going to overheat for sure. But why people bought it? It's because there is so much packed in a camera, and they give you the freedom to record as much as you want. They already told you it's going to overheat on you, but they don't put any limitation there, you know? So for me, that's a really huge thing, and it makes me think. And of course, it is what it is, but share down below what you think and let's talk more about it. But yeah, I'm not going to buy this camera. I wanted to buy it for my fiance because she has her own channel where she does workouts and stuff like that, and she always uses my camera. But for her, I always have to set the camera for her, while smaller camera will be more useful for her. And since I have already a set of lineups from Lumix, it would have been really good for her because the lenses are already there. She just needs to mount the lens, put the camera there, and shoot, right? So I might have to think about something else for her, and that's a bummer because I love Lumix color and I love Lumix in general. And yeah, hope you have a good day, and sorry for my disappointment here, and yeah. Take good care of yourself. See you in the next one.